Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the Amateur where we're here to talk life, hobbies, politics, ideologies, what have you. And on today's episode, I'm freaking defending Whoopi Goldberg. Never thought I'd see the day. But if you're not paying attention to the news, she recently, no one really watches The View. I don't even have a TV, so all I see is what's clips that come out on YouTube and whatnot. But a recent clip came out where she said the Holocaust was not about race. And she's absolutely right. She's actually right. Her unfortunate downfall is that she's absolutely inconsistent with when she applies this belief, but she's right. And I'll go ahead and play the clip so you know what I'm talking about.
Exist outside of their own house.
Well, also, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race.
It is.
Well, they
No,
consider
it's
Jews
about
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's
Well,
about
but
going
it's not-
after
it's
Jews
not about
and
ideal race.
gypsies
It's,
and
but these are two
Romans.
white groups of people.
Well, they
How
go
do we
after black
They
people
didn't see
too.
them as white.
And they
But
went
you're
after
missing the
homosexuals.
point. You're
Yeah.
missing the point.
Yeah.
The minute you turn it into race, it goes down this alley. Let's talk about it for what it is. It's how people treat each other. It's a problem. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, because black, white, Jews, everybody eats each other. So is it, if you're uncomfortable, if you hear about mouse, should you be worried? Should your child say, oh my God, I wonder if that's me?
Y'all are gonna hit me for it, but she's spitting straight facts. She's spitting straight facts. But again, she's like, I don't know much about what her views. I mean, the views, it's The View. But she's absolutely right with the fundamental assessment. Like, again, my belief, again, everything comes down to morals, which is how you ought to behave. And if you stop at race, and that's not saying, so what I'm not saying that race was not a factor and white supremacy wasn't a factor, but it was a tool. It was a tool of a deeper issue of morals on how you treat people. So the problem wasn't that it was a white man, Hitler, German, and how he treats the Jews. Side note, and you're gonna hate me, I'm sorry. Side note, but like even with the Jewish, I'm not trying to be anti-Semitic or anything, because obviously I am from a Judeo-Christian belief. Like Judaism founded, it was the foothold for Christianity, so I can't denounce it. But I think there's also still some, like you'll see my past couple videos on what race actually is, and like when it comes to Jewish people, there's always this divide on, is Jewish a belief system? Is it a actual race? And if they are a race, it's like, well, they look white. Most Jewish people look white, or what we say what white is. But Jewish is a faith system, it's a belief, so it has technically nothing to do with what you look like. So, but side note ended, she's absolutely right as far as with, it doesn't matter if, if it was a white man in charge and going around and saying that white people are better and killing every person that's Jewish or not of that particular physical traits that he says are important, versus a black person being in charge and doing the same thing against fellow black people like Rwanda and that genocide, or if it was doing it against white folks. So it's like, yes, physical traits, what we determine to be race, like again, we don't really know how to definitively classify that in a scientifically proven manner, which is the problem. Not really a problem because it's irrelevant, but it's the fact that it's not about the race. It's about the actual actions that were being done. Like it's not okay to go around killing people, and it's not because the person was white and the victim was black. It's the fact that, or Jewish or whatever, it's the fact that killing people is wrong. It's the morals. The morals is what's wrong. And so to limit it, and she, again, like she's right, and people aren't seeing it for what it is because she's also a hypocrite, unfortunately, as far as with when she decides to say it's about race versus when she decides to say it's not about race. But I say it's never been about race. It's never been about race. It's always been about morals and how you treat people. And so it's like, it's the same issue with the whole gay rights and trans rights and all this other stuff. Is like a person beating up another person for being gay isn't wrong because the victim is gay. It's wrong because it's wrong to beat people up. It's not the fact that the person, whoever the person beating up is a heterosexual beating up a homosexual. It's the fact that it's not a good thing to beat people up. Keep your hands to yourself. It's like when you switch the roles, it still makes it not okay. So, which means that race wasn't the factor. It was the actual actions. It was the morals that were involved. And so, Whoopi was right, people, but she's not. She was right in that context and right in what she was saying. Again, so it's not saying that race wasn't a tool. White supremacy, it wasn't even really white supremacy, because if you want to say the Jewish were right, like, again, it's more about the German supremacy, I guess. I don't remember. It was the Aryans, I guess. What do you call it? I don't know. But anyway, it was about that particular physical characteristics, those traits, the supremacy of those traits in comparison to everything else that is inconsequential, doesn't matter, and it's not how you treat human beings. That was the crux of the issue. Slavery wasn't wrong because it was the white man in power going against the black man in power. Slavery was wrong because that's not how you treat human beings. We have our own agency, we have our own free will. Being white doesn't give anyone any sort of privilege, which is why I hate the whole white privilege concept. It's like when you accept that, you accept the racial hierarchies that don't actually exist. That's another video. It's probably gonna be the next video, but got a little passionate there. But again, like, Whoopi was right. People, don't crucify me. I mean, I hope that it's never about race throughout my whole field of things, that race is a secondary factors, like I call it a tool to the actual root of the issue, which is how we treat each other, morals, how you ought to behave. Don't steal, don't kill, don't commit adultery, don't beat up, like, be kind, be forgiving, all this other stuff. Like, that has nothing to do with race and has everything to do with morals. What is your belief system? How do you want to act? So come at me. What are your thoughts? I don't know. I'm just an amateur. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.